Hi Switch Up family and welcome back to the channel. Be sure to subscribe if you're new and you enjoy the content. Now Glenn and I have been down at EGX Res in London for the last few days, just enjoying the sights and sounds, and the amount of new games coming to the Nintendo Switch is quite exciting. We had some incredible conversations with some huge developers. I'm telling you, this next year is going to be unbelievable for the Nintendo Switch. So we spent a few days just playing some of these amazing games coming to the Nintendo Switch, and the one that was really stood out for me, well, there's probably two, this and Pokemon. We spent a good chunk of time playing Hollow Knight Silksong. I've tried to get as much information out of that experience as I can to bring you this semi-preview, I guess, of the game that's launching on the Nintendo Switch. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to put a few minds to rest in terms of performance and overall quality. The footage you're going to see is from one of the earlier areas in the game. So I'm sure you already know, but this time around you play as Hornet, as she ascends, so she's going up rather than going down like in the previous title. Her main weapon is this needle, and it doesn't handle quite the same as the weapons in the first game. It's only a very subtle change, it all still feels really tight, but it's slightly different. And also you'll need to use her jumping ability more, as she's much more capable in the air than the previous game. Don't worry though, it doesn't feel floaty per se. There's a good amount of control there, but it's certainly a slightly different approach, and it can be quite tricky to get to grips with, but let's be honest, this is Hollow Knight. If it wasn't tricky, you'd probably not want to play it. Having said that, the first few enemies that we came across are simplistic enough, just like they were back in the old game, kind of luring you into that false sense of security. But even by the end of this demo and some of the footage I was watching someone else play, they begin to ramp up a little bit, but the game just puts them in more tricky positions. It does teach you, and it is teaching you how to use the aerial jump attack abilities. Now the reason you're doing all of this is because Hornet herself was captured and taken to this dank and miserable place, and why are you climbing to the top? Well, you want to reach that citadel at the top and find out exactly who and why this has taken place. It's a simple enough premise, and I think that's a good thing, because it gives the whole experience an overarching and very clear motivation. Whether or not series veterans are going to feel they've achieved the same level of mystery though, remains to be seen. As you can see, aesthetically, it's very similar to the previous title. However, I would say they've added even more detail. There are sections here where there are so many layers of background that it actually takes on a very 3D appearance. And you'll also notice that sometimes it will expand the number of background layers so that it feels like you're entering a much larger space. It's a really nice effect, especially when you see it in motion, but it just goes to show that these guys have got even more tricks up their sleeve. While the convention that we were in was really quite noisy, you could just about make out the beautiful music. The award-winning Christopher Larkin brings back his signature style to the game. And once again, I think they have done an incredible job in terms of the sound design. Thankfully, we were able to nail down some of the resolution and frame rates as well. So the game will be running at native resolution in both docked and handheld mode, and a delightful 60 frames per second. And I can tell you, although it doesn't translate with my terrible mobile phone, it's an incredibly smooth and responsive experience. The platforms at launch, I believe, are the PC, Mac, Linux and Nintendo Switch, which is definitely going to upset some of those other consoles. And I'm not entirely sure why they did that, whether there was some exclusivity deal done behind the scenes. I'm not sure, but it does seem a little odd. We didn't get to see a great deal of the new questing system, but as you're well aware, they've included new quests where you'll be hunting down different monsters or finding treasure, and these all have their own backstories, as well as a quest inventory. I think the most telling thing about the build that I played was how finished it feels. It really does feel like they are done making the game. Now, I'm sure this is just a section of the game that's finished, but I wouldn't be overly surprised if we see this before Christmas. You can kind of see the combination of things here. At the moment, it's only launching on the Nintendo Switch console. It's playable and it's very good indeed in terms of the polish and the finish, and we're coming up to Christmas. What a combination that would be for Nintendo at a surprise Nintendo Direct, and to be honest, I think they'd be foolish not to do something like that. It would be such a massive exclusive to have first on the Nintendo Switch. I'm just hoping against hope because I want to play the rest of it. It's too good. I'm going to leave you with the rest of our footage. It's not all us playing, there are other people playing here as well. So that's my disclaimer when there are lots of deaths. Enjoy and let me know down in the comments, are you looking forward to Hollow Knight Silksong? Is it going to be a day one purchase for you? Or are you one of the people who's a little bit annoyed that it's not coming to the other platforms straight away? A big thank you to you patrons who support the channel each and every month. Remember to check out the winners of the Battlestar Galactica competition, because not everyone's come forward just yet. That's on our video about the upcoming games that was launched yesterday. For all things Switch, all the time, keep it Switch up. Cheers guys, see ya!